hot topic. The Cleveland Browns have traded their former starter in Joe Flacco to a divisional rival, the Cincinnati Bengals. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Because of the trade of Joe Flacco, this would allow Shedeur Sanders, who's been dominating headlines in the NFL. He's a great player, should be playing, should have been playing. Would allow him to move up to number 2. But a little bit before I came on tonight's pod, head coach of the Cleveland Browns, Stefanski, he has said that he hasn't made a clear-cut decision that Shedeur would even be the number 2, which is crazy. So there's different levels to this. So for the first level, your team, and for Joe Flacco, your team don't think much of you if they trade you to a divisional rival, not a regular team, a rival. Cincinnati, Cleveland, when they play, it's big business in the sense of like those games matter to them. Your rival. You trade your starting quarterback to them. If I'm Joe Flacco, I would feel super disrespected. Y'all don't fear me at all. Well, y'all send me to a team that not only has one killer, but 2 at the wide receiver position. You putting me with these guys? So y'all think I'm cheap, even though I'm 40, y'all think I'm bunions. Y'all think y'all think y'all got the book on me. So if I'm Joe Flacco, the rest of the season I'm locked in and loaded, especially because I gotta play Cleveland Browns twice. Especially. Y'all think I'm that buns when y'all trade me to the rival team? And you give me 2, I would say 2 out of the top 10 receivers in all the NFL. 2 out of the between Higgins and Jamar Chase, 2 out of the top 10 receivers in the whole league. You giving me them? Cool. Say less. Say less. So that's one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is this. Why is it so hard for them to really support Shedeur Sanders? I don't get it. I don't get it. The last time we see Shedeur Sanders before the preseason game, we seen him winning, and well-deserved, might I add, best quarterback in college football. He won the Johnny Unitas Award. If you look at the history of that award, they give it to the guy who ends up being one of the best quarterbacks in the league. They don't give that award to just anyone. Shedeur Sanders had the highest passing ratio of all time in college football as a starter, full-time starter. He's lit it up everywhere he's gone. So now we have the draft process. The draft happens. We've seen him in preseason. He looked very good in preseason. The second game, I don't count against him, mainly because he was out there with guys that they wasn't even going to make the team. None of them made the team. None of those guys that was out there with him made the team. So he was trying to turn sugar from shit. But there was a learning curve in that game as well too. Cool. So you don't have that type of faith in him where you name him the number 2. Now, some NFL analysts or experts will say, well, the reason why they don't want to name him number 2 is because they have a different play call from his and Dylan Gabriel. Now, a lot of people showed Dylan Gabriel love, but it was somewhat solid. He didn't necessarily fuck the game up, but he's throwing 5 to 10 yard passes. Like, what are we talking about? He's not asked to win the game. And not to mention, he didn't look that great throwing 5 to 10 yard passes. It was solid. It wasn't super terrible. He almost threw a pick. Like, it wasn't super, but he didn't have a great game. It wasn't solid for real. It was like, okay, he did all right. And if he didn't throw the 2 touchdowns, y'all would have looked at that completely different, but he did. But also what I'm noticing, he doesn't galvanize the troops. There's not an energy that comes from Dillon Gabriel. But he's getting his shot to start. So he's getting his shot to start with full support. Shedeur can't even get the number 2, even if it's a different play call. And this is why the NFL is so lazy to me. So wouldn't it be an asset to have not just one system in place, but 2? I grew up playing football. I played all the way to college. And if you got separate systems for different quarterbacks, regardless if you practice this one system all week, if you're trying to win the game, there's something called adjusting. An adjustment. You mean to tell me the top athletes in the world can't adjust from one system to the next in the game? A sport that they've been playing their whole life? Base 44 is always going to be base 44. Just with longer terminology and unnecessary jargon. It's still base 44, bro. Whether you run it out of 10 personnel, 11 personnel, it's still base 44, bro. The blocking scheme is going to change always based on the front. All right, we got 4-3, so we do this when we got the 4-3. Yo, we got 3-4, so we're going to do this with the 3-4. Yo, we got him playing the shade in the nose, and then we got the linebacker coming off the 5. So that takes a different type of block, and you do that on pace, on in play. That's not a hard thing to do, and they give all these like excuses on why they can't do this or why they can't do that. Just like another lazy narrative. Oh, a lot of teams didn't want Shedeur because they didn't want the attention. Bullshit. It's the NFL. What NFL team don't want attention? All NFL teams ain't trying to win. Let's keep this a buck, yo. All NFL teams ain't trying to win. How many times you watch a draft every year and you see an outstanding player and the team should draft this outstanding player? He fits their system. He's this fast. He's this strong. And they like, yeah, nah, we're going to go with this guy. But he's better. Yeah, nah, we're going to go with this guy. Every team ain't trying to win. So the fact that they like, oh, we don't need no distraction. You're the NFL. You're the NFL. What are you talking about? You don't need no distraction. And how can a guy be a distraction if he just garner that type of energy? Now, I guarantee you one thing. If Shedeur would have went to Kansas, if he would have went to Baltimore, if he would have went to Cincinnati, if he would have went to Buffalo, we already know who the starters for those teams. So we already know that, yo, there ain't going to be much chatter up in here. There's going to be a whole lot of development. So if there's chatter based on him being on your team, then guess what? Your quarterback ain't it. Your quarterback ain't it. If your team if the organization gets shook up from one quarterback being on your team, then your present quarterback ain't it. He don't got it, Chief. He's just a placeholder. And it's always been like that. Because outstanding talent in the NFL at the quarterback position, no matter how galvanizing another guy is, when you on that team, it's that guy's team. So, again, Cleveland Browns continue not to support Shedeur Sanders in the way that's needed. And it's so lazy. So you mean to tell me a $1 billion company don't know how to control the media? The NFL just bought ESPN. They have a partnership 10% with Disney. And they don't know how to control media? Lazy narrative. Lazy. And the fact that every team trying to win. Have you seen the Titans? Have you seen the Cardinals? Have you seen the Jets? They trying to win? You seen the Dolphins? You seen the Saints? So again, the fact that these different narratives continue to plague itself, and just let time prevail. Time will show the realness of this situation. Again, with Joe Flacco going to Cincinnati, super disrespectful, sending me to an in-rival team. You giving me 2 out of the top 10 receivers in the league. I'm about to go crazy. Y'all don't respect me. And if I'm Shedeur Sanders, I still want to stay. I said this when he got drafted. You got 5 quarterbacks, and this is how it will play out. We will never see Watson play for the Browns again. He's hurt. He will never play for them again. They saying he's getting healthy. They say he's getting healthy. Beautiful. You're never going to see him play again. He's going to get healthy enough where they're going to trade him to a team, and there's always a team desperate enough to take a quarterback on his last leg. And Watson, before the injury, before the whole scandal, he was a top 5 quarterback. So teams will always take a chance with that type of talent. That's one. Never will see him play again. We all know that Joe Flacco was the bridge guy. When they had the other kid from Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, I can't think of his name right now, but he wasn't it either. He's not going to be a starter in this league. He had a chance to be a clear-cut starter in Pittsburgh. He wasn't it. They sent him to Philly to back up. He looked good in Philly, but Philly's a different animal. They was a different animal. He's just not the type of guy that's going to lead a franchise. I can't think of his name right now, but he has real small hands. Kenny Pickett. And I don't mean to be disrespectful. It sounds disrespectful, but he's just not it. Dylan Gabriel is better half to 30 than 20. He's 26, 27 years old. Played in college football for 6 years. And you know what's funny to me? It's funny how Dylan Gabriel played 6 years in college, and it's not a pick party. It's not like, we're going to pick him apart if he plays 6 years. If Shedeur would have played 6 years in college, if he would have stayed this year at Colorado, they would have been great, just like when Dylan Gabriel went to Oklahoma. Now, if he played his 6 year, like how Dylan Gabriel played his 6 year with Oregon, they would look. Imagine Shedeur Sanders still being at Colorado this year and next year. So you mean to tell me by the time he would have came to the NFL, they wouldn't have picked him all the way apart? But for Dylan Gabriel, it's cool though. Heard you. All right, cool. Shedeur is still the better quarterback. He still has a higher ceiling. So again, it will play out the way it's supposed to play out. I think Dylan Gabriel is going to be a great career backup. I don't see him as a starter. And that's not no shade. It's based on the history of the league and based on what we've seen and based on what's going on right now. He's a short quarterback. He has problems seeing over the line if he's not constantly rolling out. But they don't run a system where he rolls out of the pocket and it gives him a better chance to see the field. They ask him to sit back in the pocket. Your offensive line is 6'6", 6'5". When I played football, I played all types of positions. I played running back, I played receiver, and I played quarterback. And one of the hardest things to do, and for me as a 5'11" quarterback, even though I was outstanding in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? But it was very hard for me to see over 6'6", 6'7", 6'5", 6'4". It's very hard to do that. These are buildings moving in front of you. And if you have a system where you got to sit back to pass, having a strong arm is not the cure. A quarterback needs to see what the hell or where he's throwing to. And I believe Shedeur is the better choice, but he should at least have the decency to be at least named the backup. It's just a lazy narrative that, they got to put another system and let him get a full week. Why they can't do this in the same week, bro? It's reps. It's the NFL. Like, it's the same game they've been playing forever. Elementary school, Pop Warner, high school, college. Lazy narrative. Lazy narrative. Let me check out the chat. Chat been going in, man. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Solo Slim in the building. One of our badge holders, one of our day ones. Appreciate you tapping in, my brother. What's good just tapping in. My Saints got them Giants. That's a fact. That's a fact. My pick 6 is in, and I was wrong about that game. Giants are definitely pretenders. Shout out to Gilly in the building. Appreciate you tapping in, man. You hit me with the weird comment, but appreciate you nonetheless. Please don't troll. This is not the type of show to troll. You know what I'm saying? Show love. Show love. Don't be a stain trying to stand out by saying weird stuff, trying to be funny. Show love. You know what I'm saying? You stand out better by showing love, bro. Trust me. So with all this talking, who you got going to the bowl? For the Super Bowl, it's still unclear. It's still unclear. I can't give you that answer. But I got pick 6 though. I got the picks on who's going to win this week, college and the NFL. But it's too early to say who's going to a Super Bowl because this is the point of the season where we learn who is contenders and who are the pretenders. Off the rip for me, Chargers, Giants. It's another team I'm missing right now. Chargers, Giants. And I'm going to say New England. Pretenders. All 3 of those teams are pretenders. All of them. All 3 are pretenders. You're going to see New England win some games. But, yeah, nah. Pretenders. I wouldn't be surprised just based on the injuries in that conference right now. I could see a world where New England makes the last playoff spot. And that's only because Lamar's hurt. I just spoke on him on Cincinnati. Their quarterback is hurt, even though they get in Joe Flacco. Pretenders. Bro, slow on the bro. It can be. Shout out to Greg in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Uncle Joe in the building. Baker Mayfield is strong. Solid player. The jury's still out on Tampa Bay. And it's going to come down